Greetings, my friends. I am Joshua Orro the Mustang Prince. Welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And today, I'd like to discuss a certain manly actor. One who was a real badass in whatever role he was given. And one who was in the California office. That's right, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, I gotta say that I haven't really seen too many films he was involved with, mostly due to the fact that not all of them were for me exactly. But the ones that he was in that I moderately enjoyed were such films like Batman and Robin, Around the World in 80 Days from 2004, and of course, the Terminator franchise, which happens to be the subject of today's blog. Now, for those who don't know about the Terminator films, or what they are a type of hunter-killers designed to terminate other life forms. Terminators are built by an artificial intelligence computer called Skynet, in order to wipe out the remains of humanity after Judgment Day. Now, I didn't see all the Terminator films in my life, but let me tell you guys a little backstory on my experience with each of those films. I was first introduced to the franchise when, surprise, surprise, my parents took me to see the third movie with them in theaters. And, unfortunately, it was a time before I was ever allowed to watch R-rated films. Also, a while later, I saw Terminator 2 3D at Universal Studios, which was a mini-sequel to Judgment Day. And many years later, in 2009, while Arnold was in office, he was temporarily replaced by Roland Kickinger in Terminator Salvation. Also, in December of that same year, not too long after I completed my Eagle Board review, I received a letter from Arnold congratulating me for becoming an Eagle Scout. And just recently, a new Terminator film has been released, with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his old role again. But even with Arnold back, will this new film be a hit to me? Well, let's find out. Released on July 1st, 2015, the movie is Terminator Genisys. Now, let's begin with the summary. When John Connor, leader of the human resistance against Skynet, leads Sergeant Kyle Reese back to 1984 to protect his mother, Sarah Connor, from a Terminator assassin and safeguard the future, an unexpected turn of events creates a fractured timeline. Now, instead of a scared waitress, Sarah is a skilled fighter and has a Terminator guardian by her side, and Sergeant Reese finds himself in a new and unfamiliar version of the past, where he is faced with unlikely allies, dangerous new enemies, and an unexpected new mission to reset the future. So, what are my thoughts on this film? Well, I don't care what those other critics out there have to say about this. I thought this film was pretty epic. Heck, it's even way better than the third movie, if you ask me. Even way better than Salvation. But in order to explain more information about it, let's move on to Mustang Notes. While Terminator Salvation was initially intended to begin a new trilogy, production on a fifth film was put on pause as a result of illegal issues and the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing by the Helicon Company. By late September 2009, the rights to the franchise were once again for sale as the Helicon Company tried to emerge from bankruptcy. Late the following month, Helicon announced they would auction off the rights to future Terminator material and was seeking $60 million to $70 million Although the only offer was made by filmmaker Joss Whedon for $10,000. In December 2009, Halcyon issued a statement saying that it was looking at various options, including a sale and refinancing of the rights, with an announcement on the outcome no later than February 1st, 2010. On February 8, 2010, an auction was held for the Terminator rights. After studios Sony Pictures and Lionsgate Entertainment bid separately, Pacificur, the hedge fund that pushed Halcyon into bankruptcy, made a deal for $29.5 million. In May 2010, Pacificur hired an agency to sell off the rights to the franchise. By August 2010, a new Terminator film was being developed. It was not to be a direct sequel to Salvation, but rather a 3D animated reboot of the series titled Terminator 3000, and to be shot by Hanover House. However, Pacificor had not given any official license to Hanover House to develop a film. In February 2011, Universal Studios was considering a fifth Terminator film, with Arnold Schwarzenegger returning in his title role, Justin Lin directing, and Chris Morgan as screenwriter. Within 2 months, a Terminator project with Schwarzenegger, Lin, and producer Robert W. Court attached, but no screenwriter was circulating among studios, including Universal, Sony, Lionsgate Entertainment, and CBS Films. By May 2011, Megan Ellison and her production company, Annapurna Pictures, had won the rights at auction to make at least 2 more Terminator films, including Terminator 5. On December 4, 2012, the deal was finally closed, with possible merchandise to include TV projects and video games. Ellison said she and her brother David Ellison were starting from scratch as they seek out a screenwriter to plot the end. Now titled Terminator Genisys, the film was being produced by Megan Ellison with Dave Ellison of Skydance Productions. The executive producers were Dana Goldberg and Paul Schweik. Leetta Kologridis and Patrick Lussier were commissioned to write the screenplay. Then, Paramount Pictures were negotiating to distribute the film, with Leetta Kologridis, screenwriter of Shutter Island, and Patrick Lussier, screenwriter of Dracula 2000 and Drive Angry, writing the script. The film was left without a director, as Justin Lin, who was originally in discussions to direct, chose to direct Fast and Furious 6 instead. By June 27, 2013, Paramount had pushed the film's release date back from June 26, 2015 to July 1, 2015. By September 2013, Alan Taylor was in talks to direct the film. After Rian Johnson and Denis Villeneuve had been considered, and after a deal with Ang Lee could not be reached, by January 2014, Annapurna was no longer funding for the film with Megan Ellison, and instead will serve as executive producer. During an interview, the director of the first 2 Terminator films, James Cameron, admitted that he had been asked to be involved in the film by Megan Ellison. Cameron later had held several meetings with David Ellison, where they discussed Schwarzenegger's role and how to stay true to the original T-800 character. On August 6, 2014, Schwarzenegger posted a picture on his Twitter account of himself sitting in a production chair on set. The picture revealed the correct spelling of the film's title, Terminator Genisys. After having watched the film's pre-release screening, Cameron unequivocally voiced his support for Terminator Genisys, characterizing it as being extremely respectful to the first 2 movies, and counting it as the official third film in the franchise. Now, the things I like about this film are the time traveling ideas. I mean, like, when has time travel ever not been cool? Also, there are some awesome fight scenes, which are, in my opinion, are pretty badass. Also, I gotta give kudos to the folks which made the time settings in 1984 and 2029 Los Angeles, including 2017 San Francisco, which is, in fact, 2 years from now, look realistic. Also, some parts look very dark. I also find it pretty creepy how they decided to add a plot that involves Terminators transferring their data into humans, making them part robot. But there are also some things I need to nitpick at, such as a hospital scene, along with, well, parts that involve nudity. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the cast of this movie. Now let's begin with Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, the Guardian, or the Terminator. He's a reprogrammed T-800 Model 101, sent back in time from an unknown origin to protect Sarah as a little girl. Assuming the role as a father figure, Sarah calls him Pops, while I intend to call him Arnold. Now, in my opinion, he's the best character in the franchise, and after all these years of absence, Arnold does awesome as this character. And I think I get the feeling that he might have secretly been practicing his fighting techniques while he was governor. Next up is Sarah Connor, played by Emilia Clarke. Sarah was raised and trained by Arnold, where she gains inside knowledge of Skynet and future events. She works with Kyle Reese and Arnold to destroy Skynet before the system comes online. The things I like about her are her toughness and cleverness. Plus, in one scene, she says one of Arnold's famous catchphrases, which was, "Come with me if you want to live." Next, we come to Kyle Reese, John Connor's right-hand man in the Resistance, played by Jai Courtney. Kyle Reese is sent back through time to 1984 to protect Sarah. But then a twist of events changes his plans, and he ends up fighting alongside her and Arnold. He ultimately learns of his destined paternity to John Connor. Now, I find this guy pretty interesting due to the fact that he had quite a shocking and surprising backstory, which I won't say due to spoilers. And lastly, we have John Connor, son of Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese, played by Jason Clarke. Now, I wonder if he's related to Emilia Clarke anyway. Anyway, John Connor leads the Resistance to destroy Skynet, but he is later combined during a final battle and transformed into a T-3000, programmed to serve Skynet and ensure Cyberdyne system survival, which I find is pretty scary. Now let's end this off with my final words. Above all, Terminator Genisys is an epic film. The action scenes are badass, and characters are interesting, and above all, after so many years away from the big screen, it was great seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger kicking ass again. I give this film an 88% out of 100. Welcome back, Arnold. We missed you. Well, that's it for now, friends. Be sure to tune in next time. I'll be back. Mustang Power.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger.